Welcome to this edition of Hindsight is Horrifying, the show where three mostly normal and somewhat cynical adults discuss life as members of the TV generation. Now here are your hosts, Darth Jada, Jason Mitchell, and Adam B.
I don't even... Sorry about that, by the way. I was a patsy. The man with an axe told me I want to scare a woman, and I said, okay. What am I supposed to do in that situation?
What we're referring to, hindsighters, in case it isn't glaringly obvious.
I had a tough day at the office today, and we'll just leave it at that. I'm a little stressed.
And this might be Adam's last episode.
It could be. Once they alert the authorities.
Yes. Or somebody else in the building does.
Or Darth comes at him with a weapon of her own, because this axe is a little too close for my comfort.
And the funny thing is, fun fact, an axe doesn't have to be sharp to kill someone. Who knew?
Blunt force trauma.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. You just got to put some elbow grease into it.
Yeah.
Women don't tend to have that elbow grease, as it were. And that is a really good segue into the movie that we're talking about tonight, Hindsighters, which is this creepy Christmas pic of Mr. Brown's.
Yes, it's
American Psycho.
Yeah. And who picked it?
The American Psycho.
Just said that.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
And we've got Christian Bale with us, by the way. Christian, do you want to say anything
Yes,
about
Christian.
the?
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, he cut me off. Sorry about that, Christian.
Damn.
He's here, but he's not here. I think he's been drinking.
In spirit.
Yeah. Well, but
Not that
at
we
least
aren't.
okay. At least say something. I mean,
What don't you fucking understand?
Jesus, Christian.
I mean,
Damn.
you invited him, Jason.
I know.
it was
Listeners.
Adam's
Well,
pick,
because we
but
go
God.
way back. He and I go way back. We've been
He's
working together
Batman,
for years.
and I know he's your hero and
Yeah.
stuff, but
No, we worked
God,
together
help.
years ago. I mean,
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Ouch.
oh, jeez.
I think you're over.
Wow.
I think you just broke up with your boyfriend. Sorry about
Oh, good for you.
that. Yes, I did call that, Christian.
yeah.
I was trying to let you off the hook, so let's be a little polite.
But he had his eye on you, though.
You're a nice guy.
We think a lot alike. Me and Christian.
I'm
You're
just careful.
unfucking believable.
Okay, I'm over this. Can we cut Christian's mic?
All right, we'll
I
cut
know
his
he's
mic.
Batman and shit, maybe if he decides to behave a little better
If he
after
does,
the break
yeah,
or
if he
something.
does.
Christian, so I need you to go ahead and calm down, and we'll
What
have
the fuck are you doing?
we'll have you back after the break, Christian.
No one knows how to do an inappropriate rant like Christian Bale.
Chevy Chase does.
Well, that's true.
He's
Community.
He's a businessman
Oh,
who's into
speaking of
murders and
which,
executions.
Jason, there's this show that we really want to introduce you to. It's called Community. You should really get into it.
Oh, here it comes. Christian is going to have something to say about that.
That was Christian.
And you've already messed it
Seriously,
up.
man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Okay.
You're just mad that we love this show and
I
you're not
know,
into it
I
yet.
know.
So anyway,
Christian Bale is a very talented man. Christian, can you do an impression of every woman that I tried to sleep with in college?
No!
That was brilliant.
so every woman ever until you met your wife.
Yeah, that was
It's what that is.
brilliant.
Okay, cool. So hindsighters, now that Jason's hopefully done with
Oh,
Christian.
not even close.
Oh God. We are covering the Christmas classic, American Psycho, which was Mr. Brown's pick.
It's a dark Christmas.
It's-
Some people are dreaming of a white Christmas.
We started with the Krampus, so
but the Krampus is
don't
like
judge me, judgeroo.
about
Go play
Christmas.
your judgery-do. But it,
Hey, Christian Bale has antlers on his head at
That's
one
true.
point in this
That is
film.
true.
fair
And there's a
enough.
potbelly pig who is dressed as Santa Claus.
Yes. And the movie does give us a beautiful Christmas present, which is the death of Jared Leto. Anytime
yes.
Jared Leto
AKA,
died.
what's his real name, Jason?
Oh,
Krusty Magoo.
Krusty Magoo.
As you dubbed him during our Greenland. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jared.
Teacher says every time Jared Leto gets killed
In a movie.
an angel gets his wings.
Or Jared Leto gets another part
Direction.
of the movie. Who cares?
He's
A lot of nude scenes of Christian Bale. That might be a Christmas present
I
for
did-
some of the
he
young
is
ladies
naked
and flaming
naked
gay
most
men.
of the
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
I didn't mind it, but I mean, there are lots of naked ladies in this movie too, which
Yes.
is just so atypical
Yeah.
of you, Mr.
I know.
Brown. Oh my God.
Can't help myself.
Apparently not. As long as
love the
there
ladies.
are boobs in a movie, Mr. Brown is going to select that movie for the
Fan name.
boobs in a movie.
Boobs in a movie. Hey, that's the pilot. That's the name of our pilot. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can get the wide shot so
no.
people can actually see the.
Oh, you gotta see.
not too much though, so YouTube doesn't.
Right.
So that
There we go.
just for the hindsighters, for their own edification, Christian Bale in this movie is the American Psycho, and he takes supremely good care of himself. He does multiple face masks. He does more face masks than I do as a lady, and so, but I know that he's taking better care of himself than any other human being on the planet, minus the fact that he murders people.
Well, let's just sort of establish a little bit about what the movie. This is obviously this movie.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bring up the synopsis. You do.
Yeah,
it.
well,
Or
it's based
Mr.
on a book. Bret Easton Ellis.
keep
I think so,
waving
yeah.
My
Yeah, there
hand
was
in
his
that
name.
direction, and
Careful.
I shouldn't.
This was a book that people said could not be adapted. I mean, it was one of those that you can't make that into a movie. No,
That was the challenge.
Yeah, no one's gonna watch this.
This movie did it,
know?
then Dexter did it. It was the exact same concept.
Yeah,
Where, the movie and the book just didn't speak the same language. But
yeah. Dexter did it without the charm, I think.
I like Dexter for that reason, though.
Yeah. Agree to disagree.
Judgeroo.
No, agree. No, agree to disagree. I mean,
What don't you fucking understand?
See,
Christian, after the break.
Jeez, he is very touchy.
I
about
know
this
you're on
subject.
stage, but your voice carries. You were so loud after the break.
By the way, for people at home, the drink situation is a little different, so you might hear the clinkety
The
clink.
rattling of.
Fine
Yes,
bourbon.
Yes.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm assuming. I didn't even ask.
It's brown liquid.
Yeah, she said, "Here, this is alcohol." And I
Yes.
went, "Oh, good."
I'm the bartender
Yeah.
in case y'all didn't know.
Yes.
The hindsighters. But yeah, so essentially what's happening is that Christian Bale, aka Batman, is a serial killer.
Or Bateman.
He's an investment banker first.
Yes. Yes.
Jason,
In
I'm gonna hit
mergers
you.
and acquisitions, but it's spelt wrong
Yes.
on the
Mer-
business cards. Every business card has the word acquisition is spelt incorrectly.
Well, that's the
Good
thing.
catch.
Is you don't really
thanks,
realize
IMDb.
if you don't honestly realize if he's actually murdering these people or not, because throughout the movie, Christian Bale's character Paul, which is a reference to
Paul Allen?
yes,
Yeah.
ow, yeah,
Ow.
See, get that?
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Can we remove the axe?
I gesticulated a little
Yeah.
too much for this.
I'm gonna
So,
lower my axe.
but Paul, he
Drop the axe.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah.
check on this one first. That one's my attorney. Check on this one first. But anyway,
You got some mescaline?
God. So anyway, Christian Bale is supposedly killing all these people throughout the movie, but there are moments that he says tremendously horrible things to people and they just don't hear him, and you don't know if it's simply that they don't hear him or if it's in his head.
Well, this is ultimately one of those movies that you watch, and it's like the point of the movie is when it's over with, everybody sits around and says, "What was it about?"
Yeah.
Which is good because it's
Like,
entertaining.
I loved American Psycho
Yeah.
or I hated American Psycho, and I can take it either way because I can see why
phrasing
some
boom.
people.
It's thought provoking.
It is thought provoking. Well, and what you said is like during the movie, so you didn't know, was he killing people? Was he not killing people? To me, until the ending, it was.
Oh, he was killing.
There was no question.
Yeah.
He was killing people.
No,
you
the
know,
first time I
yeah.
watched it, it didn't seem like he was killing people. The second time I watched it, so we can definitely
Okay,
go
so that's
Alf to
interesting.
Seinfeld on that because Alf to Seinfeld on
Yeah.
that because the first time I watched it, I was like, wait a minute, is he really saying these things to these people, like murder and acquisitions, as opposed to murder?
Well, like
and
the bartender.
acquisitions?
Right.
In the beginning, when he says, like,
Where
you
she's an
ugly
ugly
bitch, I
bitch and
want
you
to
wanna
kill
kill
you
you,
and
yeah.
play
Play
with
with
your
your blood,
Yeah, play
yeah.
with your blood,
She doesn't react at all. So
But
you
maybe
wonder.
she just didn't hear it.
Well, see, I love
Yeah.
this because Christian Bale is an asshole in this movie. And he's somebody that I could just take down so many notches in a public forum, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to take him.
Yeah, but then he would kill you with a chainsaw.
Exactly.
So you would get the moral victory.
I
It would be short-lived.
I would lose that
Pun
fight.
intended.
Yes.
But I don't understand his douchebaggery along with Jared Leto,
Well,
along with all his
allow
stockbroker
me.
friends.
Let's ask
So
somebody who worked in the
please,
industry.
Allow me.
I'm going to scoot away just to be at a safe
Yes.
distance.
Well, they're investment bankers. They're extraordinarily overpaid for what they do. I'm going to be gentle. Wink, wink. And what happens is when you have this level of wealth and this level of power, you become very arrogant. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And
Yes,
there's no doubt.
yes,
I
yes.
knew so many people just like that guy.
Thank God my
So you
attorney's
were-
in the room.
So
right
wait,
now.
did you do stock brokerage?
No. I
or
was
did
in.
you-
I supported them. You know, I moved to New York to be an actor, and so
He just said New York!
yeah,
So
moved to
excited.
New
You've
York.
broken him.
yes,
Oh,
and one of the
good for you.
yeah, exactly. That's the way I felt.
Victory sip.
But one of the easiest and best jobs you can get is working as support staff for investment bankers, creating their pitch books and their documents. So I knew Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and we did graphs and charts. So when they would pitch business, we would produce the information for them. But you got to interact very closely with them. And many times I went out with them, and it was just spot
And what
on.
happened then, Mr. Brown?
Spot on. Well,
Mountains of cocaine.
Yes.
Mountains.
Okay, so this and Wolf of Wall Street, was it a careful balance, or like did either of them reflect
This is a better
anything that really
movie.
happened? No. As far
think.
as what actually
Yeah, oh,
happened
yeah,
in real
yeah,
life
yeah.
when he went out with the other
Oh, yeah.
investment broker.
Well, so this was in the 80s, which was really bad. That was Wolf of Wall Street time, I think. The 90s, it started to get a little more tame, but it was still pretty wild. And I heard stories about, I won't mention the bank name, but they had the boom room, they called it. And they would bring in hookers and blow.
Of course, yeah.
Hookers and blow. And then, on Friday night, all the investment bankers would go up there and have a good time. And that was just,
So for hindsighters who don't understand, Adam, like what is so stressful about being an investment banker?
well,
what
there's a lot of
warrants
work.
this behavior?
It's the weirdest thing. So you have analysts. So you start out as an analyst right out of college, and then you become an associate. So when you're an analyst, you're probably working about 100 to 120 hours a week.
Yeah.
A lot of guys would bring their sleeping bag to the office. They would sleep under their desk.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's like being straight out of law school at a big
Yeah,
firm.
it's crazy.
2,000 billable hours a year.
And they would
Do the math.
The associates would shit on the analyst, and they would just take it because they wanted to be associates too.
Yeah.
You had to play the game. And I remember talking to the associates or the analysts and saying, why don't you take a couple years off? It's like, oh no, we can't. We got to become an associate right away because they had their path laid out for them from start to finish to multi-millionaire.
Oh wow! It's in
And
a way
then
it's
a coffin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
because
there's
you
like no
don't ever-
joy.
but you don't ever have a life.
No
Like,
life.
So
Zero.
So what brought you out of that life, Mr. Brown? Because apparently it
A
wasn't
little
for
lady
you.
named Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes.
No, Cynthia Nixon.
Oh, Cynthia
She's
Nixon,
the nice
yeah.
one.
She was the nice one.
she was
Nah,
the nice
we were on the periphery. I mean, I got to taste enough of it to know that I did not ever want to do that.
We don't need to know about that. But Justin Theroux was also on Sex and the City, and he's in this movie as well.
Yes.
So you've got another
Yeah.
co-star in this movie.
Justin Theroux is one of my all-time favorite actors. He's in my top 10 of because he's one of those actors who does sort of commercially things like Sex and the City or what was the
Parks
other
and
Parks and
Recreation.
Rec.
He's also in a movie that neither of you have watched. It's called Mute. It's a love of my life, Alexander Skarsgård. But it's actually a very great movie on Netflix.
I thought the love
in
of your
case-
life was Tom Jane.
John. Well,
Oh,
here's
She
the thing.
cheats on him occasionally.
Until
Just
he
like they do in
leaves
this
Anne
movie.
Heche, I'm a one-man kind of gal, and until he leaves Anne Heche, until he leaves Anne Heche, Tom, I will date an older man. Call me. But we've talked about this multiple
Yes,
times.
yes,
But anyway,
yes.
Alexander Skarsgård, Mute, Justin Theroux. So Justin Theroux is one of the guys that works with Christian Bale, and here's the thing that I couldn't get over: the business cards. So the men in this movie are so wildly competitive.
Yes.
And it's insane to me because I've never seen this competitive kind of nature outside of womanhood, except in the business arrangement between men, where they're just like, "Oh, I will cut your throat to be the VP."
Well, what it is, it's that's the environment amongst men who are always on the edge of getting fired or just being gone.
Yeah, they're just so expendable.
Because that's exactly the same way it is with lawyers. Like if you go to a big firm, the top level lawyers don't care. The partners don't give a shit. They come in when they
partner. It's like being
they were
a
managing
professor.
directors in the investment
What's the thing
banking
with
world.
professors where they are
Tenure.
They get tenure and then they can coast.
Yeah, and there's different levels of partner. They kind of actually nowadays when somebody becomes a partner at a law firm, they got to sign a contract about that thick, and it's this whole thing. But you've got the guys at the top and the guys at the bottom. These people down here, they're so burned out they don't even fucking know what's going on. The guys at the top don't care, but all these people in the middle are just constantly looking for a way to stab the person next to them in the back. It is, and they're encouraged to be that way.
Yeah, because
You
I
know?
mean, you want
It's
to
a
be
doggy
top
dog world.
Yeah, it's you eat what you kill. That's the motto.
Jesus.
You go out and find a client, and if you don't, you're not going to make partner. You eat what you kill.
And see, gentlemen, women typically aren't raised that way. We go to get our MRS degree at college, and if we don't do that, then we're not successful at life. So after that, you can pretty much do what you want, and you're considered a failure in every category. But there you go.
It's sort of a thing where you have this image, right, of wealth.
Of yourself or
no. Well,
your
you're
parents' image of you, or what are we?
No.
talking
It's
about?
in this sort of like money world,
Okay.
where it's like the car you
Because
drive,
both
the
of-
wife you
Status.
have, the status stuff.
Status.
Because I've never lived in the status world. I will tell you that. Both of y'all have professionally done that. I would like to say,
And it sucks.
It
sucks
made you
so
both miserable.
hard.
It's a
from
rat
what
race.
Yeah. And it's literally, I mean,
Here's the cards, by the way. Did you say mergers and acquisitions is misspelled?
it's spelled wrong. Yeah, on every single one of them.
That is weird.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
I would like to think that was on purpose. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
there's a C in
status.
acquisition. But there isn't on the cards.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
So status.
No, so it's like you've got this status thing where you're always trying to, you're chasing this invisible, elusive goal that you realize after a certain point doesn't exist.
And what is the goal? Like,
I mean, if you're a lawyer, you want to make partner,
okay,
because then you're a partner. And the reality is that if you become a partner at a law firm, odds are you're just becoming somebody else's bitch. Because the actual partners who founded the law firm, they're not going to give away anything.
okay.
You can work your ass off. And it's basically, do this for a while, we'll give you some more money, work you to death until you either quit, die, or go insane.
Isn't that every job ever though? Because
Probably. It's probably the same with doctors. I mean,
well, if you work in the factory, it's not that way. It's more mundane.
Yeah.
This is cat and mouse,
Yeah.
dog eat dog, claw and scratch your
So-
way to the top.
And this is the scene where they're figuratively taking their dicks out and putting them on the tables.
yeah, exactly.
Or if you watch the YouTube video where some genius replaced the business cards with pictures of cats.
I have not.
Yeah. Somebody did that.
But yeah, it's literally just like you were saying. It's kind of a piss. It's a peeing race, Bobby.
It's a peeing
With all of
races.
with all the damn
Oh,
business cards.
I don't like this scene.
Well, I don't like this scene either, and that's why I got on.
I forgot about this
fussed at Mr.
scene.
Brown.
But
No
no,
animals were harmed
But
in
no,
the making of this film.
This is that is true.
Remember.
This
Avert your eyes,
scene is
hindsighters.
that I took it off the camera because I don't even
Good.
want to show it. This scene is actually so much more tame than the exact scene in the book. In the book,
So you read the book,
no, I haven't read the book. I was just looking up
Excerpts?
excerpts.
okay?
This scene in the book, and
Cheater,
what we're
pumpernickel.
talking about is whenever Patrick Bateman kills a homeless guy, he stabs a homeless guy.
Which is bad enough.
That's bad enough, and then he stomps a dog to death.
Right.
But in
I
the
hated
book,
that part.
he stomps the dog before he kills the guy.
So
the
that he can
guy
see his
sees
dog
it.
die.
Oh.
And they don't actually
gonna
even
make me
tell you if the
cry.
dog dies.
It's just there and it's suffering.
horrible.
Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
This
We
is
love
worse
animals.
Than
Yeah.
what damn damn
I might be
it.
dressed like a psycho, but I'm not
Oh,
really one.
speaking of which, we need the help of the hindsighters on something.
We do.
We have a cat at our office.
Yes.
And I have a.
I haven't come up with a proper name. However,
Okay.
tell them the story of the cat.
Yeah.
And I will come up with the name. Adam will come up with the name on the spot, and then our hindsighters will vote on the name of the cat that belongs
Yes.
at Jason's
Yes.
office, AKA our studio.
Yeah, there is a cat that we have rescued, and actually, a little black cat and sweet little thing.
They did not stomp him. It's
No,
okay. He
no.
gets fed. They
Yeah.
take care of him.
The one of the guys here, Dale, who basically runs the place, he made it his mission practically to try to get this cat to get close enough where he can give it some food and things like that.
Lure it in, yeah.
So it's like been weeks of trying to get this cat,
Aw, good
But
for
I
him.
have very good news. We found somebody who does a cat rescue thing. Came over, took the cat, took it to a vet. The cat is now getting checked for whatever
Worms and fleas and-
feline leukemia and all that stuff. Gonna get all the shots.
Feline AIDS. And-
What's
That too.
leukemia and
Yeah.
AIDS?
No.
Yeah, both of them.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to get all of its shots. It's going to get, he's going to monitor it. The vet's going to keep an eye on it, make sure that she's fine. And
Oh, it's a she.
It is a
Okay.
she, yeah.
We didn't know that.
We
Well,
didn't know.
today.
Because it's
Okay.
it's hard to tell.
What with cats?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with cats, that's why they're always in such a bad
Anyway.
mood. But yeah, so the cat is in good hands, but she doesn't have a name. And
So we
we're-
need to name
yeah,
her
yes.
hindsighters.
I got
So-
a name.
Okay.
I love the TV show Ally McBeal, so why don't we call her Ally?
Like an alley cat.
Aww.
Snap.
Snap.
I like that. Snap in
Snap.
a Z formation.
What are you doing?
Christian,
Christian
after the break, we already talked about this.
Can you
I will bitch slap
flash to the
you.
film? I want to get
yes,
credit for this
yes.
being a Christmas film.
Yes,
see?
it is a Christmas
Yeah,
movie.
so we have to talk about that, and we'll get to the cat's name. Let Adam and myself think about what we want to name her, and then all the hindsighters, because
I already
named
came
her
up with
Allie.
one,
Okay,
Allie.
so
See, I
did you
said galore.
galore.
That's a nice
okay.
one.
Yeah.
You get it? You get it?
Yes, it's a James Bond reference.
Very
Wah,
nice.
wah,
Wah, wah.
Oh, you're right. It is a James Bond reference.
Are you kidding me? I hate you both so much. I'm not going to smart off too much because Mr. Brown has an axe, and all I can
Yes.
think about is Negan.
Well,
He
at
has
least I don't have a nail gun.
Yeah, and what is Hollywood's thing with not understanding that nail guns that aren't connected to air compressors are basically just heavy objects? Because I can't, at least 5 movies that I've seen where somebody
is
has used a nail gun.
in
Like,
danger.
what? No.
No, because you already know all this stuff, and that's the thing about boys. That's a crazy thing.
I know
So-
how nail guns work.
No, it's,
Well, they probably tried to have the pneumatic line on it. It just didn't
Most-
play well.
Most women don't. Like, for instance, if you tune into Dexter, when he, and spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't watched Dexter, it's going off Netflix soon. Tune in or tune out. I
You don't
care.
have to.
But
We're fine if you don't.
No, it's great. Watch it. Anyway, Dexter's brother is suggesting, oh, this guy probably used a power saw to really hardcore murder this person and spray blood everywhere. And Dexter's like, yeah, but you're not thinking about the fact that there's, an outlet over there. And he's like, oh, you've never heard of an electric power saw? And it's like, that's what most women don't think about power tools that way. I don't personally, because I don't tend to use them. And
Well,
it's-
good.
Y'all are,
Josh
That is-
appreciates
yes,
that.
that is good. Yes.
You don't want to
Does
use the
he?
power tools because then you forget about the man.
Yeah.
You're unfucking believable.
you're just jealous, Mr. Brown. Anyway,
I'm always jealous of the power tools. I
he's
can't
great
help
at the
it.
power tools. But anyway, no, seriously, it's
You're
y'all
going to
are,
chip a tooth with that thing.
no, but think about it.
Don't chip a tooth.
Men
Trust me.
are so capable of killing anyone.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I could kill both of
crazy.
you. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's in our nature.
Yeah.
Women are so subtle with that, where we can, we can kill you. We definitely can, because I see
Oh,
that
absolutely.
axe. Well, but I see the axe and I'm very aware of it.
Hey,
and
it was a woman who came up with the idea of beating her husband to death with a lamb shank and then serving
know this
and
was
then
here until
serving the
now.
lamb shank to the police officers.
this is true.
That,
And
a dude would never have come up with that.
I tried to make that knife fling a lot cooler than I did. But seriously, though, like, y'all are equipped from childhood. Like, oh, yeah, hatch it down this tree. And, like, you've got all these power tools and you know how to use all of these tools that can just kill somebody so easily. Meanwhile, women are like, well, I've got a kitchen knife. Don't get me wrong. We can be very effective with that.
However, men kill quickly. Women kill slowly.
Yes.
It takes a whole lifetime to kill us.
Decades.
that's when you let her do it.
First you break our
Which
spirit.
both of you are doing. You're letting her do it at this point.
I don't know. I think Carrie Byron could probably kill pretty much any man out there.
Oh, God.
But she is a myth buster, though, so that...
The point is that, you come up and, like, your dads teach you how to be men and use these tools and stuff, so that Patrick knows just how to murder somebody in his own living room with a little bit of newspaper and a
so
freaking
happy.
chainsaw.
And a nice little raincoat.
Yeah.
Are you showing this one?
Yes. Oh,
Because
yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I'm
Honestly,
not nervous about...
yeah. This is the scene that, honestly, if you only see
This
this
is heavy.
you've seen the entire movie.
Yes.
Damn, that's a clean axe.
It is very polished. But if you
Unlike
look
this
at the
one.
way he handles it, it's not a real one.
No.
It's a very light.
Yeah.
It's
probably plastic.
How do you handle an axe, gentlemen?
What?
The manhandler.
What? No.
2 hands like an Indian burn.
God.
Why are you wearing a raincoat? Always found hip to be square.
And the weird thing is, before I saw
hip
this
to be
scene
square.
today, as I was watching it, I was actually, for some reason, pondering the question: whatever became of Huey Lewis?
You know, don't you?
Well, I know he's.
Don't you know the
He's
news?
gone deaf, right?
Oh,
You
I
knew
didn't know that.
Yeah, he went deaf.
Well,
He
he's
lost
still
his
he's still
hearing.
playing.
Trying.
Oh,
Trying.
really?
But
Oh.
with
Just
with
because
no
we can't
hearing, he's
smell
got
or
it
Is
wrong.
that why he stopped?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that sucks.
Some kind of genetic disease that he had. His hearing just went away. And
See,
so
that
he-
scares me because my dad is damn near deaf, and he was fine until he was like almost 50.
Yeah.
Some sort of like clock's ticking on being able to enjoy music. You know.
Anyway, so I don't think we ever properly covered why the hell we're doing this episode for Christmas. So, Mr. Brown.
Always
this was your
desperate for
thing.
input. I went to the internet and I said, interesting Christmas films. And then I saw the top 10 dark Christmas films. I said, okay, that's perfect for Darth and Jason.
We
Why?
are we are dark people.
And then this one was there. And I said, you know what? I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
When did it come out?
2000.
2000.
20 years old. Came
It
out.
feels older than that. You know, the way they shot it.
Well,
Yeah.
because they talk about a lot of 80s music and stuff too, so it does feel
Well,
Just the way it's shot, though, feels.
Yeah. It took place in 87. So it was a period piece at the time when it was
a
shot.
period piece.
But, if you look at the clothes.
for those of us who are younger, yes, it is a period piece.
But the apartments and everything, that's the way they were in New York. And that was another thing. I always marveled at these investment bankers. They'd spend like $3,000 a month on these little apartments, but they were there for like 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you could buy it. You rent a studio.
Yeah.
But, oh, no, when I bring people back,
exactly.
it's got to be. And just like, they're all comparing their apartments, comparing their business cards, all
And
the above.
it's a competition with no winner, with no prize.
No.
Because
can,
you wind up where you wind up, and
Yeah.
that's how it is. So I have to ask you both, since both
Yes.
of you are technical citizens of New York City.
That's true.
just say New York
Yeah, seriously.
or the city, because
What
there's
now?
no other city
No,
in the
but-
world.
Unfucking believable.
Christian,
Thank
after
you,
the
C.
break, I'm almost done with my drink, and
CB.
then we'll let you out of the freaking break room. Calm down.
No!
What was your question,
My
DJ?
question is, since both of you have resided in New York,
Yes.
The city.
the city, as Eddie Izzard would
the
say,
city.
the city. They pull snakes out their bags, but just seriously, what's the rent like? It versus mortgages, because I've heard-
$5,000
Per month.
If you want to live.
For what though? Because by comparison, hindsighters, I started out with a little 1-bedroom in Alpharetta, where our
Georgia.
studio is, Alpharetta, Georgia. It's near Dahlonega, as Jason would say.
That's the way I pronounce it when I arrived here. Oh, Dahlonega.
That's what I said too
Yeah.
when I moved here.
I
Yep.
know.
Because
I saw the
speak
movie.
Because I speak English as a first language.
Because it has a fucking H in it.
Yes.
Anyway.
Doll.
I know. The point is that my first one bedroom in actually Smyrna before Alpharetta was around $800.
Yeah.
Now my mortgage is around $1,400 for a much larger house, but I live out
Yeah.
in unincorporated territory, as y'all love to make fun of. But I can't understand for 1 second how anybody would pay
It's
more than
yeah.
because even when they built the Avalon in Alpharetta, it's a very beautiful piece of property. Don't get
very
me wrong,
expensive.
but yeah, very
Yeah.
expensive. So a studio there when they first built it, 10 years ago, going on.
Less than 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
going
Much
on
less than
maybe?
10.
Yeah, much less than 10.
8
Okay,
years.
then never mind.
Say
All right.
8, 7.
So
Whatever.
going on 10 years ago. Anyway, a studio was $1,700 a month,
Yeah.
which I couldn't understand here. What's the rent
Well,
or mortgages? What are they like?
Yeah, I
in
mean, my first apartment,
New York.
my first apartment I ever had was in the Woodlands, Texas. After I graduated from college, I was making $50,000 a year, and I was the richest man in the
Big
world.
spender!
I mean, I went out first thing and bought the complete Monty Python because I was so wealthy.
And some liquor, and that's
Yeah.
all you wanted in the world.
That was it.
And some porn.
And
I'm
I think
assuming.
I paid $550 a month for the apartment.
And this was what year?
2001.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
it was a sizable
Accordingly.
apartment.
What was that price?
$550 a month rent
In Texas.
in the Woodlands, Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You're talking New York City.
Yeah. Now in New York,
I'm asking for the comparison.
The
though,
comparison,
so-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now I know for a fact in Brooklyn, if you want to get a like a walk up 3-story, not 3-story, it sounds big when you say 3 stories, but it's not because it's a very narrow.
It's a divided townhome or something. to
Yeah,
that
it's
nature.
one
Yeah.
townhome that's been sort of chopped up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about
Like in Sex and the
five
City.
grand a month. $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5,000, and it's actually slightly more than that.
I can't. So
5,000.
All right, so here's another story. I was living in Virginia Beach. I was in the Navy, and we were
you were
renting.
in the Navy.
Yes, I was. That's
Wait a minute. I have an English degree.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, that's what everyone
Just so
says.
everyone knows.
Just in case I didn't tell you,
Jason used to be an attorney.
I was once in the Navy. No, I was based there, and we rented a beach house, 2 of us, and it was $700 a month.
On the beach.
Yeah, well, it was 1 block off the beach. I could hear the surf. $700 a month.
Close enough.
Still nice.
So I thought that was pretty good.
Walkable.
So I went to visit a friend in New York City. This was 95. Just to date myself a little bit. And we went to a party in Midtown, like right in Midtown. And it was about a 900 square foot 2-bedroom apartment.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, tiny.
Yeah. It had like a kitchen, a hallway with 2 bedrooms on each side, and then a living room.
So Ari Shafir's apartment.
Exactly. Ari Shafir's. And the other rooms, there was 2 mattresses on the floor in the bedrooms, and they slept on the mattresses. And then another person slept in the living room. And I remember I walked in, I said, I'm just trying to get an idea. I'm going to be moving to New York soon. How much does this cost? And they were like, well, I pay $500. I'm like, oh, $500 is not that bad. Oh, no, I have that mattress here. I pay $500 a month. Each person paid, it was about $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
For that little
Yeah.
apartment.
Clutch. My
She's
pearls.
clutching her pearls.
Yeah.
Science
And it's
Outsiders.
for like literally because
What the hell?
no, if for about $3,000, because I know for a fact you can get like they have there's a brownstone, okay, and what they'll do is the brownstone will usually have the basement, the parlor floor, which is sort of a living room kitchen floor. Then you have the bedroom floor, and then there's a floor above that. And what a lot of people will do is they'll separate each individual floor and they'll rent each floor out.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
mentioned that, like
And-
in Sex in the City.
Yeah, and like the top
case you need a
floor
reference.
is literally a bedroom, a closet, and like a little kitchenette thing, which is just in the bedroom. Okay,
God,
$3,000. That's what the going rate is right now. $3,000 for that.
So the whole thing, hindsighters, is you can see why these tradesmen are actually really competitive over their livelihoods. It's just that if somebody has a better card, a better apartment, because at some point Christian Bale does say, "Oh, His Jared Leto or Leto, whatever the hell we're calling.
Who fucking
Krusty
cares?
Magoo.
Krusty Magoo.
Krusty Magoo has a better apartment than Batman.
Oh, yeah.
He was very
pisses Batman
upset
off
about that.
so badly. Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Boiler Room?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, with Giovanni
Absolutely.
Ribisi
I
and
did not. I know what you're talking
Vin
about. but I
Diesel.
never
yeah,
saw
Vin
it.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that I always liked that movie because of that one scene because it's like the older established, I guess, associate,
Yes,
and then he's got his
minions.
protege.
Okay,
Yeah, and
minions.
and they're out somewhere.
Very
All the associates, they're in their Lamborghinis and their Ferraris and they're flooring it. And the new guy is like feeling like crap because he's broke and he's working 1 million hours a week.
Yeah,
and
he's the
Vin Diesel says to him, he goes, "You don't understand. These guys, not one of them could write a check for more than a few $1,000. They're totally liquid. Every dollar that they get
goes into
straight
making
out.
them look like
Yeah,
they look
and
good.
it's all about the image.
Which is why
Yeah.
you fools came out of the caves to begin with, to impress women. So
Oh, yeah.
on that note,
We'd still be in caves.
yes, without women. So on that note, Jason, isn't it past time to?
It is actually.
I
I
think
was
it's time
just
for
about to say that.
a
It is-
break and a refill.
Yes, it is time for a break. We
is
will
it
be
time for a
back in about one cocaine mountain.
Or will we?
Or not. Yeah. He's got an axe. I don't know.
Yeah, this will do lines off my axe.
Oh, good for you.
And we're back.
Hey, it's good to be back.
And
Yes.
and for those of you
Is
who are,
it?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to have a costume change because some blood wound up on me, and
about to
I
say-
didn't bring a spatter jacket.
I know. And I'm wearing all white and I'm fine.
I was a Boy Scout. Always be prepared.
but I did
Jason.
travel to the future though, and I got a weapon to use against you.
I've got a weapon too. I'm just going to keep it.
Is that a weapon or a sex toy? Can you?
Can it be both?
It
can.
depends on if you're Christian Bale or not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's right.
So, do you want to know what I do?
Your name is Christy, and your name is Sabrina.
So we're still watching American Psycho,
yeah.
the movie that launched Christian Bale's career. Except I don't think it did. I think he was in stuff before this.
Well, do you remember? Was it
Newsies.
1942?
Newsies. Oh.
He was. It was a war film where he played a kid.
Wasn't he also in The Machinist before this? What was the timeline on those? I should have taken
yeah.
my meticulous notes.
Crap, the Spielberg movie.
It's Spielberg. I just remember in the in the,
Let's find
in
out,
the
Internet.
theater when that zero came across the screen.
P-51.
Oh, that's right.
Because he
there
goes,
was
P-51,
Yes.
Cadillac of the Sky,
Yeah.
which is a great song, or a great piece by John Williams.
Yes.
It's not always. Always was the Spielberg movie with Richard Dreyfuss.
Well, I don't know about the Spielberg.
Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the
That's
Sun.
it. That's it.
Well played, sir.
He was
Well
also
played.
played a kid in the Kenneth Branagh Henry V.
Really.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it's so weird because
Wow.
it's just like, wait, is that
That I
Christian
remember.
Bale?
Is that Dean Cain?
He has been around for a while. hasn't he?
John, like I said, get better and thrive. That's all I have to say about that.
John Williams? No,
what
I'm at.
John do I ever talk about?
Oh well, I just mentioned John Williams, and you scared me for a second.
Well, I made the Dean Cain joke. That's a John Mulaney joke, Jason.
but you
Mulaney.
scared me. I was worried that we had lost John Williams.
No, we haven't lost John Mulaney either. He's just in rehab. But
Yes.
it,
In the future, he will go to rehab
Well,
because
we're
this
in
is
New
December
Zealand.
8th.
it's tomorrow already.
This is December
Hindsighters.
8th, and we're recording on December 8th, like we were, in the past
December
segment.
8th?
Yes,
December 8th
exactly.
ago. December 8th ago.
December 8th.
2020. I
So-
can't wait for New Year's.
So this is this
why
the
we're
scene where
drinking
Christian
champagne?
Bale looks at himself in the mirror
Yes.
and flexes his because of
And points at himself.
He's
and-
got the two professional
Yep.
women.
Yes.
And this is very sexy.
it's kind of 80s sexy.
Very
and
much
it's not
so.
an 80s movie, but
No.
it
Well, I don't. Okay, you just said professional, which I totally understand what you're saying there. However, he picked one of them up off the street, whereas one of them came from an escort service. So is
yeah,
there,
it doesn't
is
really
there
make
a
any
difference?
sense. They don't really
No,
explain.
I legitimately don't know. Is there a difference between an escort service and a hooker?
Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is.
What is the
Usually
difference?
a factor of 10.
Yeah. Most of the ladies on the street.
You seem to have a lot of knowledge
Yeah.
about this.
I was a
sailor
sailor.
boy.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the lady on the right is the escort. The one on the left is the whore.
I thought it was.
Tell us the official difference.
Hell, she's
The
the hell.
hussy.
And it's nice to have one of each because one you can look at and the other one you can. Oh, see, look.
Keep digging. Would you
I
like
know.
a shovel?
That's what she said.
Ah.
I love this. You know, one's
I'm
dancing.
ashamed of myself
Dance
right
for me.
now.
Dance. You always get them started. Warm up. Dance a little bit. I've heard. Okay, I learned from the movie. Sabrina, don't just stare at it.
So uncomfortable right
Don't
now.
stare at it. Eat it. I love it. All right. If you say
So, Phil Collins.
did you shower before you
yeah.
came here?
I can feel you in the air tonight. Go ahead.
I can feel you in there tonight. What did you say?
Oh,
Yeah, we're getting gross, but I like that.
I'm about to leave.
Oh,
yeah, thank you. I
That's
know
it.
that
It
was
actually
great.
went too far for Christian. That's I think saying something.
Yeah, that's true. So
Now here's the scene where he's look at himself. Yeah, this is
while he's
He's-
being intimate with the call
What
girl,
don't you fucking understand?
I'm imagining him saying these things while he's banging the hookers.
well, he's just such. Not only is he psychotic in this movie, he's such an asshole. Like,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
if a guy ever talked to me like that in a level of seriousness, the way that Patrick Bateman talks to women, I would have slugged him.
Well, you weren't just picked up off the street.
No.
So-
Even the way he talks to his fiance, everyone,
Oh, yeah,
and his assistant, what's her name, Jean, that just tells her how to dress and how to be. He's like, "Don't wear that outfit again, Jean," and she's like, "Oh, I take it you don't like this," and he goes, "Wear a skirt next time and high heels." I like high heels. I'd be
But
like,
Their
the
whole
"Hell, do you think you are?"
I suspect in the stockbrokering community, such attitudes may be more commonplace.
I
than
wonder.
than in the civilized world in which we inhabit.
yes. This normally happened in the office back in the 80s.
I mean, yeah.
It wasn't. They didn't take
With
this
a
stuff
mountain
home.
of cocaine.
God, all the
a
cocaine.
mountain
Yes.
of cocaine.
I love that. That was one of the very rare funny moments in this movie is when the guys are comparing their business cards while they're at lunch together.
The pictures of their cats.
Well, well, they're not school marms, Jason. But it's funny because Patrick Bateman does get upset because he's genuinely upset that one of his colleagues appreciates the cards of another colleague more. And I think it's old Krusty Magoo who has the
I
nice
think
so.
cards
Yes.
because he's the one who eats it.
Well,
So-
you know, Patrick Bateman, green is not a good color on you. Young man. you
green's
know.
not a good color on anyone.
No,
but
no.
here's the thing:
And
red's a disturbing color as well. But
I like the way that Christian Bale, when he's around his colleagues, I don't want to say friends,
yeah, colleagues, because he hates them all.
he hates
Like,
them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the way that Christian Bale purposefully acts as phony as possible.
Oh, he's the all-American boy. He's Davy Crockett.
But it's like so phony, and he's doing it on purpose. Like, it's so laughable. That, did we just get a buzz? Was that me?
no,
Sounds good now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's fine. But
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your cell phones off.
I can't because occasionally you forget what movies Christian Bale was
that's
in,
true.
and I have to look them up. So I'll put the phone in my seat. So anyway, you're totally right, Jason, because Christian Bale, he even has a line when he's with Reese Witherspoon before she was famous.
Yeah.
She's his fiance in this movie.
She stands out in this movie because she's so Reese Witherspoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
And it's like
she's not even no acting required.
yeah,
It's just
Is that
Reese Witherspoon.
Is that Reese Witherspoon?
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Kane. But so she even says to him like, "Oh, I wish you would," because she's sitting there planning their lives, their wedding, everything, and she's like, "We really should just do it, Patrick. We should just get married." And he's like, he has his
Gonna
headphones
get
on.
married.
They just get married, but they're gay. Damn it, Jason.
Are you guys doing Bob Burgers again? I thought so.
When are we not doing Bob's Burgers?
Bob Burger.
His name is Bob Burger.
Bob Burger again. You doing Robert Burger?
Grow up, Adam. We're always doing
Robert
Bob's
Burger.
Sir Robert.
You know,
Burke.
okay.
Anyway.
This brings up. I'm glad you said this because this brings up a very, very important question I have for you. Being someone who was in the United States Navy,
Yes.
if you are an 06, you are a captain.
Yes.
Okay.
I plead the fifth. Oh, sorry. Wasn't the question? I'm used to that.
No, this is UCMJ. You don't have any Fifth Amendment rights.
Okay. Yes. 06, you're a captain. That's
Okay,
correct.
so if you were an 06 and your last name was Crunch, there has to be one.
Oh, you know there is.
There's got to be a Captain
Absolutely.
Crunch. Oh, we've killed it. And can you imagine, like, is there, it seems like that would have an effect on your career. Like, you would have to be really good if you wanted to ever go from Captain Crunch to Admiral Crunch.
Well, there's something similar to that on Scrubs where
You'd want to be promoted very quickly.
Very good.
Very quickly.
Like if you were a commander and they wanted to promote you, you could, no, I'm good.
no, just seriously, there's something similar on Scrubs where Dr. Kelso, who normally doesn't even deal with patients because he's like the lead of the hospital, he's the head of surgery, and he meets this new patient called Private Dancer. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sure you took your share of beatdowns in the army for that, boy." Like, it's just.
But again, there have to have been.
That was my act.
Sound effects.
Yeah. There have to have
Christian
been.
Bale is flipping out somewhere.
Yes. There have to have been not just one, but there have to have been multiple. Like, okay, the USS Zumwalt,
Yes.
her first commanding officer was Captain Kirk.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And that, to me, that's awesome.
I'd respect the absolute hell out of that person, even
like-
if they were the biggest douchebag in the
Exactly,
world. Like,
like-
it doesn't matter.
To me, if your last name is Kirk and you join the Navy, you're going to be a captain one day. Because
You
somebody's
have
going to
to
go,
be.
dude, guys, we got
Fulfill your damn destiny. Self-fulfilling
yeah.
prophecy, mother.
And you better command an aircraft carrier. You know what I mean?
But Crunch, like, I imagine, what's the worst ship you could be the captain of? And that's captained by Captain Crunch.
USS Cookie Puss or something like that, you know.
Those guys at Carvel really know what they're doing.
And then, like, war breaks out, and, there's some huge battle, and the victor, the hero, the president awards a
Jesus.
Medal of Honor to Captain Crunch.
See, that's what I want. I want to be the commanding officer that awards a medal to Captain
Yes,
Crunch.
yes.
That's what I want. I didn't know that. I had that dream until you made it.
No, this is literally when you're on an 8-hour road trip to Florida. These are the sort of things that you end up thinking about. Literally driving in a car. I
God.
wonder if there's really a Captain Crunch. I'm going to have to remember to ask that.
When I was at Penn State as a midshipman, our Marine officer instructor was Major Zapton. Now, thank God he was promoted because we always used to joke, what was it like when he was a captain?
Captain Zapton.
Captain Zapton.
Oh, God.
And that's a real person.
Cap Zap.
He's
Yeah.
probably one of our listeners. So
I actually,
Call us.
sorry, General.
I actually did hear a story. Oh,
There's a movie, guys.
yeah, I know. Okay, I was just going to give a quick shout out to Master Gunnery Sergeant Carly Davis, who was my JROTC Marine instructor. He served in the Marine Corps, if you count the active duty, 3 tours of Vietnam and all that, and then as an instructor, 57 years.
Oh, my goodness.
57 years of service.
Master Gunnery Sergeant.
Master Gunnery Sergeant, yeah.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, top.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And he was the nicest. This guy, he's still alive. He just retired. And I just saw the news that he retired. So, I wanted to give a quick shout out
That's
to Top.
British. That's British.
Because one of the best human beings I've ever encountered in my life.
So if any of our listeners like to watch porn, but they're not allowed to because their spouse or significant other says no,
Or their parents.
or their parents if you're under 18, rent American Psycho. Pretty much checks every box.
Because I know I surprised both of you when I revealed that I have never, in fact, watched porn ever. And
What?
I've said this multiple times. Anyway, Darth has never watched porn. However, I guess what crosses the line when you're talking about just cinema versus porn? Because there are some really dirty scenes in this.
Yeah, the difference between
damn movie.
softcore porn like Cinemax porn or this, and porn is penetration.
Right.
If you don't see that, It's not. It's not. It's not. I don't know why we're discussing this.
No, I'm actually because I don't know what the difference is because there are so many like.
Well, it's real people really having real sex, and you see it all.
Okay, all right, because like
Close up.
you go to
Close up,
see 50 Shades of Grey versus a porn, and it's like, really, is it all that different?
Well, we've talked about this before. I mean,
Well,
that's- yeah. I mean, like growing up in the '90s. I mean, there was that show Silk Stockings.
Which, by the way, I think
never
is
seen it.
is on Netflix now.
Oh,
or
is it?
something. I was, or I think it's just streaming on YouTube or something. Because I saw Silk Stockings,
I won't be
and I
watching
thought of
it.
it.
That's for me. That's
I
for
thought of it.
later. That's for later.
that goes in the bank. Oh my god. So anyway,
yeah,
but seriously though, getting back to Christian Bale for a second because he's so.
Oh, good for you.
Good for you.
I actually want to talk about you, Christian. May I call you Christian?
No.
Call me Chris.
Mr. Bale, or
What
Mr.
don't
Bateman.
you fucking understand?
Every core, I don't know, core concept.
He's a difficult
He's
person
a
to deal
diva.
with. He really is.
Jesus. But
He's a prima donna.
he completely admits to the fact that it's like you were saying earlier, Jason, how he's such a phony. When Reese Witherspoon is like, I hate your job. Why do you even have that job? And he's like, to fit in.
Yeah.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Like, because he knows how psychotic he is.
Yeah.
So, like, and you hear his inner monologue the entire movie about how he's losing his damn mind.
Well, and in the book, he actually does have a moment where he like questions the morality of what
I've
he's
never
doing.
read the book.
I mean, it's good. It's not.
Okay.
If you go the rest of your life without reading
Not a
it,
must
you're-
read.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's because in the book, it's actually a part when he's eating a piece of somebody that he killed, and he sort of ponders the morality of it, and he comes to the conclusion that it's wrong, but he's going to do it anyway.
Yeah. So.
It's like
yeah.
like overeating.
Yeah.
It's not good for you, but it feels
He's gonna.
it's right.
It's comfort eating.
I'm gonna eat that entire sleeve of cookies.
I'm gonna eat those
I'm
little
gonna
hairy
eat.
legs.
Damn it! You barely beat me to it. But he just, and they don't really touch on that too much in the movie. Where he does just briefly mention when he's confessing on the phone to his attorney. So, Jason, if you ever get this call from me, just do this. Just wipe the slate clean for me. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
But because and so that's a thing to debate about this movie. And,
Those shoulder pads.
oh my god! Well, it was technically the
Well,
80s.
no, but you raise a good point though, because
Did it happen?
cleaning the slate part, because we talk about him being a phony,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end of the movie, it comes across that he was a complete phony, including all the stuff that made him interesting.
Yeah.
None of that was real.
So that's the
That's
thing.
my interpretation.
No, that's what I'm asking. Is it's kind of like Total Recall? Did it really
Right,
happen?
yeah.
So that's what I'm wondering. The only thing that leads me to believe that everything that Patrick said was true was when his secretary is going through his notebook at the end of the movie, and
Yeah.
she sees all of these violent drawings. But at the same time, that's still not proof.
And also, she lives. The secretary makes it to the end of the movie. He doesn't kill her.
That's true.
So it's kind of interesting that the one person who
What is her
caught a
name?
glimpse into his psyche,
Chloe Savigny.
No, her character's name. Anyway, go ahead.
the one person who got a glimpse into who he was and into that weird Patrick Bateman mind, didn't die.
Yeah.
And so it's like she made the whole journey, and he never fantasized. If it's fake, if he never did these things, he never fantasized about killing
she
her.
wasn't in the book, so that's
Right, yeah.
You got to wonder what his whitelist is because what made her different.
I don't know.
What but maybe it was going back to what I said, where he's like, "Hey, I want you to dress this way." She never really fit his mold and his requirements,
Right.
so maybe that's what spared her life at the end of the day.
What-
You got to wonder.
Which is an interesting philosophical thing to kind of ponder. You know, she was always nice. She was genuinely nice to him. You know, she actually seemed to care about him.
And she was very straightforward. She was punctual. She was effective at her job. Like
Yeah.
I don't.
In fact, this is the scene where he doesn't kill her.
Yep.
See, and that, like, you see the head in the refrigerator.
Because he does have, he has I don't know.
It's
I
a
guess
nice stainless
clearly
steel
killed.
fridge too, by the way.
It is
It's
very hard to keep
expensive.
fingerprints off it, though.
Yeah, always.
Which I think would drive him nuts.
That's what I love about my refrigerator. Oh, am I
I want
the
one made
American
of
Psycho?
wood.
You remember when your car needed a belt? Anyway, so the synopsis for those of you hindsighters who don't know. In 1987, wealthy New York investment banker Patrick Bateman's life revolves around dining at trendy restaurants while keeping up appearances for his fiancée Evelyn and his circle of wealthy friends, or wealthy and shallow associates, most of whom he hates. And that is like the most diplomatic
All of
way
whom
I
he
can think to
hates.
describe that. Like,
Yeah. Who does he not hate?
he hates
Besides her.
Besides
And he hates
the
himself,
secretary.
clearly.
Yeah, he hates himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The self-loathing is pretty horrific. But that's the thing is that I can't decide whether it happened or not. Whether he murdered all the people that he said.
I don't think it did.
No, it didn't, because remember, as sad as it is to say, Jared Leto, we were so thrilled to see
Krusty
him.
Magoo,
Krusty Magoo.
your favorite
Krusty
person
Magoo,
ever,
yeah.
Jason.
We're so happy to see him axed,
Yeah.
right? Or we call, as we say, neutralized with extreme prejudice.
Don't get neutralized, Mr. Brown.
And at the very end, they said, "Oh, I just saw him in London."
Right.
So there was
No, only
all.
one person really said that, though. So that's where I debate. It's kind of like the top spinning at the end of Inception. It's like, really?
Oh, if everybody's favorite movie, if it doesn't make sense,
If it's
this
confusing and
doesn't- yeah.
stupid,
Yeah.
then it's everyone's favorite movie. No, but Patrick Bateman's attorney specifically says, like, and it's kind of forceful the way that he says it, because Christian Bale keeps insisting. He's like, no, I killed this guy. I killed these people. I did, like, and this guy is definitely dead. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm done
Well-
talking about this with you. And he walks away from him. So you don't know what the
He didn't-
attorney...
He didn't turn
know-
him in.
He didn't know it was Christian Bale. So the thing is, Christian Bale in real life, and that's why I believe all this stuff manifests, is so vanilla, is so plain, is so dull.
I
Because he's
agree.
pretending to be
I
Paul
agree.
Allen for
Yeah.
a lot of the movie.
He's
Yeah.
he's pretending to be all these interesting
Yeah.
things, but nobody knows or cares about him. And I think that's the psychosis in his brain.
If I do this, then look at all the influence I have over my universe. If I'm killing people and doing all this, and
So
that-
are they just delusions of grandeur? Is that really what it comes down to?
I think they're delusions of trying to mean something. I think there's a lot of people, and I think that maybe is the message of the book, and by extension the movie, is that if you have these people, what is the American psycho? Is the American psycho somebody who literally lives their life feeling like they're just a meaningless piece in this puzzle that they don't even like being in anyway? I don't know. And he fantasizes, if I do this, then I'll experience something. I'll have an emotion.
Yeah, because you even see him having conversations with people that the other person doesn't hear. So, like
Right.
when Patrick's at the bar,
Yeah.
he tells the bartender that she's an ugly bitch and he wants to like kill
Yeah.
her and like
Play with her
with her
guts.
blood
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she's like, "What?" Because it's loud. So you don't know if it's
don't
just
know.
too loud
Yeah.
for her to hear, or if
Yeah.
they.
I work in murders and executions. How long have you been in mergers and acquisitions?
Yeah,
It's a pretty
yeah.
good scene there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think that's kind of the mark of a good movie and a good script, is that when it's over with, it's not like, and I'm drawing a blank now of movies that are just purposely ambiguous that are stupid.
Like Inception.
Like, kind of like, I mean, yeah, I don't want to dunk on Inception.
Sorry, I had to say.
I think Shivers is. What if none of it happened? What if you say it at the end of every movie?
I hope none of it happened. My God. Ugh.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. What if none of it happened?
I'm pouring myself another drink, gentlemen. That's what I'm doing.
some more bubbly.
Yes.
But no, I like the idea that they can do the entire movie and leave
just gonna do
you
that,
with questions, but you don't feel like you got robbed. Like 2001: A Space Odyssey. It ends with questions.
I've never seen
But-
it, and you.
that
Oh
me?
my God, Adam!
Look who it is. It's Barb
You're a
calling.
nice guy.
Let's talk to Barb.
I'm
Hello?
fucking serious.
Is this Barb?
Yes, it is.
We're doing our podcast now. We were about to give you a shout out.
We can Bluetooth it.
Doing what?
We're doing our podcast a day late. It's normally yesterday. But we wanted to give a shout out to Barb Brown or Barb Whitmer.
Barb.
Well, you have to tell Jason he's driving my Alexa nuts.
Why is that? He drives his wife nuts. We know that.
Another podcast. He's saying, Alexa, turn the lights off.
Oh, Alexa. Yeah, okay.
Alexa, turn the lights off.
I'm sitting here and I'm watching the podcast, and my Alexa's talking away, and here's Jason telling him to turn the light off.
All right.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right.
You're controlling the lights at Miss Barb's house. That's amazing.
We love you, Mama.
We love you, Miss Barb.
You're unfucking believable.
Okay. We're going to sign off now. Thank you. I'll silence my phone.
Hang on a second.
Don't you disrespect
hang
mine
on.
to Miss Barb that way.
Alexa? Alexa, order hardcore pornography.
Alexa, play the Beatles.
I knew the pearls were going to be necessary tonight. I just knew. How did I know?
Oh, wait a minute. She's playing we can't afford this.
Alexa, stop. I'm sorry about that.
Alexa,
just
we
got-
don't have time for your distractions.
You just got billed $30.
No, if we put that on the air, Paul McCartney personally will come here and kick me in the
that's right.
balls.
I hope you have a different account because Elaine's going to be
He'll
pissed.
come wielding an axe.
Okay. Oh, another thing that I noted about this movie that I have to point out is Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
This is the second time. Well, sorry, actually, was this pre-Boondock Saints? I think so.
I think so.
Either way, this is the second instance where he is chasing down people that he really likes and respects, and he doesn't get to catch them. Like,
Eh.
no, that
Well,
wouldn't be a problem
was
for you
another
guys.
that was another clue at the end when he said, you do have an alibi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were at lunch
Yes.
with
You
these
were at lunch with these
people.
guys
Yeah.
when in his mind, that's when he was killing Jared Leto. Sorry, Jared.
Krusty Magoo.
I think it would be
Krusty Magoo.
funny. I think it would be funny if at the end of the movie, when they're sitting there and they're all talking, and he's had the conversation with the lawyer, and his mind is reeling from this. Did I do it or not? And he looks in the mirror, and it's H. John Benjamin sitting there.
Oh my god! And
That's
his tinnitus is just going off the chart.
and he just screams.
The world suddenly got really small, and all I could hear was loud circus music.
I think that's how you end a movie like this.
And that's a good point, because at the end, when Bateman is in fact arguing with his own attorney, the attorney mixes him up with somebody
Yeah.
else, and so even his own attorney doesn't know who the hell he is.
Because he's so dull.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just all
Yeah.
delusions of.
I think it is.
That's where I land on it. I mean, because think about
We
it.
solved it. All right, let's go out.
Yeah, all right. So, and on that bombshell,
I won the episode. I solved it. So there we go. But just the fact that he has such violent thoughts is also disturbing, because Daniel Tosh has a great joke about this where he was like, ladies, I'm about to make a joke and I need you to observe your men right now, because if they don't have the right reaction, then you need to get the fuck out of here. If you had any idea what goes through your men's minds every day, you would run the hell away from them. You would never, ever have a boyfriend or a husband or anything. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that's depressing.
well, no, there's actually a phenomenon. Because I remember talking to a friend of mine about this. It's called intrusive thoughts,
Okay.
and a lot of people think it's sort of like, have you ever stood at the edge of like a cliff or something and had this thought of jumping off of it?
All the time.
And it's like,
Yeah.
that happens. You're like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? There's actually a cool theory that the reason you think of that stuff,
Is because you want to fly.
no. Well, that might be another theory, but the
Okay,
one,
that's
we
what I've
evolved
always
from
heard.
birds.
yeah,
Yes.
No dinosaurs did.
before we had the ability to form words and sentences and do real abstract thinking, like this came up because a buddy of mine,
You're assuming that we are able to have abstract
yeah,
thinking. Okay,
yes.
that's an assumption that.
because
That's
a buddy
compliment.
of mine once told me, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was somewhere with his kid, and he like all of a sudden had this thought of like pushing his kid off, and he was like, Jesus Christ, what is that? And it's before you could form sentences and think of things like, hey, don't go to the edge, you may fall off. Primitive man would just see the things happening. You would visually see these things.
Okay.
So any bad thing that you might do, whereas you would say, well, I shouldn't touch this because I'll burn myself. Primitive man would imagine himself putting his hand on a fire and burning
And
it.
just have to picture it in order to even process it.
Because they didn't know
okay.
words like fire, burn, hot. They were basically James Hetfield.
It's actually a very Gilmore Girls reference, Jason, because
James Hetfield?
No, because Lorelai has some story about when Lorelai. When Roy was little, she was like, "Oh, you lie to your kids when you have to like
Constantly
to keep them safe." Like I would tell Rory, "Oh, don't touch the devil's hands," and that she meant the stove. Like, don't burn your hands. And so
Yeah.
You apparently lying to your children is just a ubiquitous concept.
There's a lot of our culture that comes from that. I mean, there's one of the things about Bigfoot. One of the reasons why there's so many myths about Bigfoot, according to Native Americans, is that those were just things that in the olden days they would tell their kids, don't go over
woods.
there. The grass man will get you. And so it becomes this whole thing because as those kids grow up, they grew up hearing about the grass man.
My whole life
or
was a lie.
Sasquatch or whatever.
Kind of like how, but see, here's the thing is that Morgan, my dad, and I've told this story at least once, when I was a little kid, he would tell me lies just to fuck with me. So,
well, you do that too.
For instance, when I would pour a Coke and it would get fizzy, he told me, "Oh, I know you don't like the foam, baby. You know how you get rid of it? You bark at it." Oh. And I was like, and I grew up and I was just like, damn it, Morgan. Look at so.
As soon as you become a dad, as soon as you become a dad, you just find all that funny.
Oh, I can't wait to become a dad.
Yeah.
Well, I tell my kids I'm not really their father. We actually snatched you out of a carriage when the mother wasn't looking when you were 1 because we couldn't have kids of our own.
Why on earth do you say that to your children?
I don't know.
I joke.
I just do.
I actually made a mistake
Adam.
with a joke like that when my son was about, I don't know, like 4. We were joking about something, and I said, Elaine, do you have the receipt? Let's take him back to Costco.
That is so Calvin Hobbes.
No. And like 5 seconds later, I look down and my son just has tears.
Oh my God,
I'm like,
Jason.
No.
I know. You forget how much they really love you.
You got a double clutch out of that one. Oh
You
my God. Jason.
I didn't mean to.
I am ashamed of you right now.
And what's funny is that now I make that joke about once a month now, and he's like, he just looks and goes, "Fuck you, Dad."
No, that is seriously so Calvin. There's an actual strip of Calvin and Hobbes where Calvin asks his dad where babies come from.
Can you get closer to your microphone?
I can. Calvin asks his dad where babies come from. And his dad explains that they bought him on a blue light special in Kmart. And Calvin starts freaking out. And he goes, "Mom!" And she's like, "Dear, what did you tell the baby now?" Like she's so pissed off.
Maybe that's where I got it from, Calvin and Hobbes. I don't know.
So, what else do we have in this?
Well, I got to tell you.
The lesbian scene.
Yes.
The lesbian scene.
This isn't
not the only one.
We passed the lesbian scene.
Oh,
This is the killer scene when he actually just begins killing them. And the one tries to get away, and he's chasing her with a chainsaw, oddly enough. Most New Yorkers have a chainsaw in their closet.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you need to cut some wood.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah.
And he does he have drawers on? Or does he
he is utterly naked.
Does he have
He doesn't have just drawers on.
Because and that's what I actually noted when I was like, okay, the chainsaw, sure, what you compensating for there, bro. But he's chasing this woman down the hallway and down the stairwell, and this is after
my love, my darling.
Anyway, Patrick,
he doesn't put baby in a corner.
Oh, he just.
If he puts her in a corner, she probably stays there.
Gosh.
I hate both of you so much. Anyway, he's chasing.
She's like, I got to get out of here. Well, she's menstruating. There's a problem. There's blood all over the sheets. Wait a minute. No, he's actually stabbing her with a knife and eating parts of her body.
Damn, dog.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Yep.
Ooh.
That was the line. That was the line.
Yeah.
And Christian's out. Are you coming back, Christian?
Call me Barbara because I'm out.
No!
but he does chase the whore.
Yeah, the hooker.
And he's
The
got,
whore.
but he does have his shoes on though.
Wait, he has no drawers on?
No, he has
No,
no
he's
drawers.
completely
nothing
naked and he has
except
a
for his shoes.
chainsaw.
Is he free balling?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, poor thing. She's dead. What? Oh my God, he's eating your foot.
Yeah.
You're right. He has nothing on but shoes.
Yep.
He's
just
lucky.
wearing
He's lucky it wasn't Linda Hamilton. She would have killed his ass.
he's lucky it wasn't
absolutely.
Darth Jader. I would have killed his
Yeah.
ass. My God. Like it just. And I don't understand this either. Does he live?
Who says movies are misogynistic?
Who says white men can get away with anything if they're good looking? My God.
Yeah, but the way he kills her, it's the only kill in the entire movie that you kind of go, well done,
Yes.
well done.
Yeah, but that took some skill.
That was impressive.
Because what happens, I've been disrupted like 40 times at this point, but what happens is Patrick's just chasing this woman.
Oh my God,
bare
you're
ass
right.
He's not even wearing shoes. He's got like plastic
I
wraps
thought they were
on
like
his
tennis
feet
shoes.
because he was planning on killing her. So he's,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
pulling a Dexter and he doesn't
and
want
he's
the
like he's aiming the chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is all fake.
Yeah.
There's got to be an Olympic
Yeah.
event, chainsaw throwing,
You see,
or chainsaw dropping.
And the Scandinavians are probably the best
Oh,
in
yes.
the world.
I was about to
Absolutely.
say, you know how China is actually they're outsourcing, they're sending their Olympians to different countries to learn to like ski in the snow and stuff. This is the event that they need to learn is chainsaw throwing. So,
and it went right through her.
it did. It got her right, and that's another thing that doesn't make
And
sense.
turned off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which so I don't know anything about chainsaws. I've never handled one. Would it turn off if it cut
Well,
somebody
As
in
soon
half?
as- when you let it go,
It stops
yeah, it
immediately.
stops.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, and this is a great scene with Reese Witherspoon and Christian Bale because he breaks up with her over lunch at a very public place so that she won't make a scene. And then he's specifically telling her, like, I just don't care about you that
Yeah.
much. Like,
my,
I gotta
my
go.
need to commit homicide on a massive scale.
Yeah, you just don't register to me on an emotional
Well,
level.
but to be fair though, this is the sort of thing men do when we want a girl to break up with us.
no,
Because
yeah.
because that is a very common tactic. We
when
do
you're
this.
so mean that you make us break up with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
because we don't want to hurt you, so we just act like assholes until you break up with us.
And the weird thing is, the
Yeah.
more of an asshole you become, the more attractive
I know, it doesn't
they
work.
seem to
Yeah.
be. It's like, don't you see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah.
Not over here. Like that's never like.
No, but in the wide world out there.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
know
works
exactly
like
what
a
you're talking about.
charm.
You're an anomaly, lady.
Well,
you must know that.
Well, that's what happened with the Irishman in New Orleans. Jason is
Wait
knew.
a minute. The Irish man in New Orleans.
Oh my God,
What
you
is
don't know
this?
this story.
No, I don't think. No, he's never heard this story.
Is this this is when you did your dirty Sanchez?
I'm gonna hit you.
I'm fucking serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. But proceed. I'm very interested,
I was with
as are the listening audience.
I was just with some friends in New Orleans, and everybody had been drinking except. Am I not close enough again?
No, you're good.
Oh, you're just concentrating. You're doing okay. You're
I'm
doing
doing
it.
TV's Michael Gray.
Michael Gray. So anyway, I was with some friends and there was clearly this very predatory man who just started following us home and he started latching on
Dermot
to like,
Mulroney?
yes.
Is his name Jeremy?
What? No! Oh
No,
my
I'm just
God.
thinking of predatory men that really like you. But proceed.
Anyway,
It was Chris O'Dowd.
I threw you off a little bit, didn't I?
can I tell my damn story?
I'll kill his mic.
Wait,
Please do shut him up. So this guy is following the smallest, drunkest woman in our crowd.
How
and
small?
Smaller than me, like 5'4". I
was kidding. I was like-
how small? How shark was it?
she was a little person.
Jason. I'm not telling this story.
Yes, go. No,
anymore.
please tell the story.
So he, is approaching us, and he's clearly trying to get me away from her, and I'm sheepdogging her home because she's just swerving, and yeah, I was just watching over her and making sure that we got back to the house that we were renting together. And the Irishman was like, "Oh, darling, get ahead of us. Get ahead. It's all right. I'll see to her. I'll see to her." And I was like, "The hell you will." And so I wouldn't let him out of my eye line. And he started darting into the street to try and make me walk ahead of him. And I wasn't letting that happen. So eventually I had to I had to turn around and face off with him in the middle of the street and tell him, hi. So I've said it more than once, and he was approaching me and he was angry. And I backed up when he approached me once, and then he did it again. And I was like, you've done this twice.
You're
there
in
will
America,
not be
asshole.
a third time.
Yeah.
I was like, now you're going this way and I'm going that way. Otherwise, I will put a hitch in that Gary
Yeah.
Cooper
Well,
walk.
This is what you use.
Yeah.
With the equalizer.
not only are you in America, but you've gone to the independent province of New Orleans.
You in unincorporated territory,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
you don't understand how this shit goes down. Because when the cops show up, they go, "Where are you from, boy?" Ireland. Is that in China?
You bothering this nice lady?
Yeah.
John Edmund Mulaney, did you bite this nice man's dick?
Yes. Don't you know why his dick was near
love-
my chomper?
I love whenever he shoots the car and it blows up, and then he like looks at the gun as though he's amazed it blew it
Wow.
up.
Yeah.
This is sort of the denouement.
Well,
of
this
the
is what.
movie.
Yeah, this is when
This
things
is the
start to get.
meltdown where things spiral.
The first time I was watching, I was just like, okay, now it's getting a little unbelievable.
I like that lobby.
I know.
No, I do. I like the. You're
swear to
outside.
God, Mr.
I like that you're outside, but you're inside architecture. You know, so that they just put the glass walls
It's
up.
what they call an atrium.
Is it an atrium? It doesn't feel like an atrium.
Lobby.
lobby. Yeah, lobby.
What feels like an atrium? Please tell me.
More spacious. Atriums need to be more spacious.
Okay. That's the whole illusion.
Anything
is the glass,
else?
you asshole.
Hey, I'm not an asshole.
You're a nice guy.
See?
Look at that.
Yeah, but when Christian Bale thinks you're a nice guy,
You're
are
probably
you?
an asshole.
Don't worry, Batman. We do love you. I know you don't love us right now, but anyway,
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna be quiet.
I'm going to make that my text message sound.
So he's in the atrium.
And he kills one guard.
He kills the cleaning guy.
He
which
kills
is really
multiple
bad.
cops.
Yeah.
He's already killed both of the call girls. And that's where it's like you said, Jason, it's the denouement. It's where the real meltdown happens, where he just spirals.
This is not a nitpick. It's sort of a stylistic thing. Being sort of a David Lynch fan, I watched this scene and I kind of wish that in this sequence, it would get a little more surreal to really sort of highlight the mental breakdown. And I think that would have flowed well into the final scene where it, the lawyer says, no, you didn't do that. I don't know, he's fine.
So how,
Yeah.
as the director in the room, actually, how would you have made it more surreal personally? Like, because is pretty
There's a
surreal.
helicopter with a light shining
Yeah.
in his office.
Yeah.
And he's already like you said, he blew up a car with a handgun, and which can be done, but
No, it can't. No, it literally
No, no,
cannot
no.
be done.
okay,
No,
that's
not
why
at all.
that's why there was a question mark.
But in a
on
movie,
that one.
but the thing is, though, in a movie, because it happens all the time in movies, then in a movie universe, it totally could be done.
therefore it must be true.
You know, I mean, it happens all the time in action movies.
It does, but
Yeah.
so as the director in the room, how would you have made this situation even more surreal? Because it already kind of is, but
just
I
a touch or two of total non-reality.
Maybe spiders on the wall or something
anything,
like.
like seeing a dead head talking to him. I mean, I don't know.
that's good. I like that.
get, yeah.
Something that just makes it like, okay, he's literally lost all
lost his
touch with
shit.
reality.
Yeah.
And that, I think, especially works because this is the only scene in the movie where he's afraid. And he's scared.
Because he's always, that's the thing about Bateman, is that he's always in control.
Yes.
He is
Yes.
always level-headed. Like,
Yeah.
you never even know what he's thinking. And people kind of allude to that throughout the movie. They're like, oh, Bateman, you're just the all-American boy. Nobody ever really knows what's going on with you. Like, because he sits there. And this is where I got a weird joke from, gentlemen. When I've told you this before, is whenever there's like an awkward silence at a dinner party or something, I'm like, so, apartheid, glad that's over, right, gang? Like, just to break the silence and get people talking again. But he
Be careful, though, because there might be somebody who disagrees with you, and then the whole party's ruined.
then the whole apartheid is ruined. So,
Nein!
but
Das ist nicht gut.
zing! Don't even know who I am anymore.
Well, Jay, there's always that natural tendency to want to fill dead air with sound, right?
Yes.
Now, you get to a certain point in life when you like to relish the dead air. And I just sit there and just see, How long is it going to take before someone talks? Because I'm not going to say a thing.
Yeah.
Let's let it go for an hour.
Yeah.
But okay, to specify, if I'm hosting the party, I will break the silence because if they
Vagina. See? See?
Did you say vagina?
Yeah, just drop that at a party.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just-
That'll get the discussion going because
Wait for a lull and go, vagina.
everyone thinks about that.
no, but Bateman says something to the effect of like,
Oh, my God. I know exactly where that is. That's right down the street from my apartment in New York. When we go to New York, I'm telling you right now, I want to retrace this guy's
hell yeah.
steps.
you can say New
absolutely.
York City if you really want to.
No.
Don't you dare.
No.
I have worked so hard to eliminate city.
I almost just got slapped.
If he kills you with the axe now, there's no jury that would convict.
But before I forget, and I want to say this, this was set in the late 80s, 1987, which actually is the first time I ever went to New York City as an adult, and before you were both born. And this really does capture the look, the feel,
New York in
the
the 80s.
sensation of New York in the late 80s. And my friend who was on my boat, he became an investment banker, and his apartment looked exactly like Jason Bateman. What did I say wrong now?
Patrick Bateman.
Oh, Jason Bateman. I'm sorry. I do like Jason Bateman.
Very different.
Patrick
Very
Bateman.
different.
Patrick Bateman.
A very different movie.
Batman. Just say Batman.
And it was, I mean, it's just super minimalist with just like a bed and like
Sterile.
bizarre artwork, you know, like, oh, this woman with only red lips, everything's black and white. And it was like that.
And if you had asked him, why do you like this?
It's just the way it is.
Yeah,
That's the way the apartment
yeah.
came.
I remember I did a
That's what she said.
I did
I don't know.
some film shoots there's a subdivision outside of Orlando called Islesworth, which is Tiger Woods lives there. Siegfried and Roy had a house there. I mean, it's like
Just Siegfried,
super. Yeah, I know. Yeah, back then it was still about them.
Got it.
But I remember we were, the film crews. We would go in and we would go into these houses, and
Poor Roy.
you're expecting this mansion, you walk in and you think you're just going to be overwhelmed, and you walk in and you feel like they didn't have any. Siegfried and Roy were different. They had everything. But like if you look at the regular millionaires who live there, their houses looked almost like they just bought the house, paid somebody to put all the stuff in there, and then
It had no personal touch,
and then
is
live
what you're
there.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was weird. And you walk in there feeling like you run like a weird movie set, because none of it had any human qualities to it. It was so strange.
Didn't even
no-
look lived in. I bet.
Yeah. But the weird thing was we did a shoot for a guy who was, he was who was he? Kansas City Royals? I think he was.
Ex-Mossad.
No. He owned, like, God knows how many car dealerships in Orlando.
Oh, so Mallory's husband.
Yeah. Except he played for the Kansas City.
Ron!
He had a World Series ring.
He was the boringest man on God's green earth.
He's dead, by the way.
Oh.
So now you feel good now,
Maybe
don't
lay
you?
off him.
Yeah, back off.
Because they had to
woman.
do it in memory of things. So.
Woman. All right.
But no, but the
I
weird
didn't
thing
use
was
the B.
his entire house,
You'd better not.
from the wine cellar in the basement all the way up, was like that. And then we went into his bedroom because he wanted to show us his World Series ring. He was like a kid. He's like, oh, you guys, yeah, let me go show you the World Series ring and all my baseball stuff. And he had a closet off of his bedroom. His bedroom was the only room in the house that looked like a human lived there.
Oh, okay.
There was a little clutter, and there was a TV that was actually in a comfortable position to watch. But it was like he lived in that room and owned this huge thing.
Oh, I totally understand that because that's what I've had to explain to some of my relatives who come to my house. And anyone who's known me since I was a kid, they know how very clean my mom's house is. And I don't mean to insult her when I say this, but I compare her to Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And it's like, Cameron's house is very cold and very
That's
beautiful.
not an insult.
And
Cameron's a good man.
No. To like how she keeps house. Cameron's house is very cold and very beautiful, and you're not allowed to touch anything.
Yeah.
It's like that. And my mother, you could literally eat off of her floors. Mid-COVID, it wouldn't matter. She keeps her house that damn clean. I was like, people live in my house and dogs
Right,
live in
yeah.
my house. We make a mess. Like it happens.
Did
Like,
either of you have relatives who had plastic on furniture?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
my
good.
grand did. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you
Sorry,
were,
I don't know why I got so excited
and
about
so when
that.
you were a kid, did you go, this doesn't actually make any sense?
No.
And like you sit on the couch and
And it's like not
slide
comfortable.
off. Yeah.
You can't wear shorts.
You
No,
literally have
no.
to, like, yeah, because you'll
No,
stick
it would
to the
take
plastic.
skin off of it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Especially in the South.
Yeah, if they kept it, and if they were older relatives who kept the house very warm.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. So there was a movie that we were talking about, this creepy ass movie that Mr. Brown selected. God knows what reason.
Come on. It's a fun,
no,
it's a
not-
good movie.
It's a
Good
fun
movie. It is a
rom-com.
good movie. It's a very, very good movie.
So his secretary finds his journal where, in my mind at least, this is where he crafted all of these elaborate scenarios that never really happened.
Right, I agree.
They only manifested in this book.
Because he never does seem to work when
Well,
he's at work.
Yeah,
He's
you never
always,
actually
like-
see him work.
He always tells his secretary, he's like, tell him I'm not here.
Well,
Cancel that
Well,
meeting.
remember, who owned the business?
His dad.
Kids never really need
Yeah.
to work when their dad owns the business, right?
I
They just
pay
sit
attention.
there and occupy. Oh, I love that cell phone, by the way.
I know.
That cell phone is largely
Looked like
It's-
Baker Company
Well,
in World War II was using
it's
it.
larger than my Dodge Challenger.
Yeah, but think about it.
Like-
In the 1980s,
God.
that phone cost, dear
like
God.
$8,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
even want to
Because
think
remember,
about
it was a big deal in Lethal Weapon 1 because Murtaugh had that Motorola phone. And it was like, oh my God, he's got a
It was so
phone.
fancy. And that's something I felt so old because
It's my wife's car.
last night one of my cousin's children came to stay with me on spur of the moment, and I remember when he was this is Kaylee's
On
older
December
brother.
8th, 2020.
Yes. Anyway, he was amazed when I said something about like, oh yeah, your other cousin Justin and I would like dance to Michael Jackson music like we were filming a music video. And he was like, oh my gosh, tell me that's on YouTube. I said, well, buddy, this is before YouTube. And he was like, before YouTube? I said, actually, this was before the internet. And he was like, before the internet? And he just...
long ago?
Yeah, in the before 4 times. And Jesus Christ, did the boomy booms blow up all your wordy word books? Like, it just... I reminded him of that yesterday, and it was just like, yeah, your little mind was blown when you realized that the internet wasn't always a thing.
I want to talk about this scene though, the final scene where Patrick is confronting the lawyer,
Whom
And-
he's already confessed to, saying
well,
that
he
he's
thinks he did.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He got on the phone, and he
Yeah.
did leave the message, though. He
Yeah.
left the message on the phone saying he killed roughly 40 people.
Yeah.
Like, so, sorry.
Well, what I like about this scene though is it's the first scene, and it takes place at the same time as the secretary finding the book, and that had to happen at the exact same time.
Why is that important?
Because she finds the book and she's looking into his mind, and this is the first time that he's actually exposing himself in the real world as who he thinks he is.
Right.
He's not doing the thing where he's saying things but he's not really saying it. He's actually saying to this guy, "I killed these people. What are you talking about? Listen to me." And
I killed Paul Allen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I killed Paul Allen.
And I liked
wasn't
it.
Paul Allen one of the guys who founded Microsoft?
Mm-hmm. I'd have to look that up. I don't know.
It's like every time I hear that, I'm like, Paul Allen. That's the guy who, or was Paul Allen Microsoft, or was
Why
he?
not, you stupid bastard? To God.
Because I had dinner with
Yeah,
Paul
he
Allen
co-founded
twice
Microsoft.
in London. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, that's Paul Allen. That's the guy who.
I mean, I wasn't not going to believe you. Like, but
Oh, it says right here, killed by. Christian
killed
Bale.
by Chris.
Patrick Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
Yep. He's even got almost a Trump level look with his kind of bluish suits and his red power tie.
He actually looks. I'll be honest. Patrick Bateman looks like lawyers that I met in New York whenever I was in law school, and I was in New York briefly.
With the hair slicked back
It's-
and everything.
The,
yeah.
I had this is because I'm a country boy. I had never seen people who had shirts where the collars were like a solid color.
He was in the big
and,
city.
and the shirts were striped, but the collars and the cuffs were solid.
that.
And I remember looking at that going, wow, that's just stupid looking. But
You didn't know it's actually
It was
stylish.
it
stylish.
was extremely stylish, yeah.
It was a whole thing.
I'm sorry, Brad.
well,
I love you, man. I absolutely love you, but your shirts are stupid.
We're not making fun of you, but we are. It's kind of a thing that we do. But yeah, so you have a lot of actors in this movie. I don't know.
God, he's going to sue me now. Crap.
Well, you're an
And
attorney too. Sue him back.
But he was really good.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a legit attorney.
He's like
Got it.
legit.
Yeah.
He pays his dues and everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually passed the bar. Got it. He doesn't just go to one.
Yeah, he's got a license and the whole 9 yards.
Oh damn. Maybe I should switch. But anyhow, you have a lot of now very famous people in
yeah.
this movie who weren't when this movie happened, including Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Because he's freaking Batman. So
Justin Theroux, the most
Exactly.
underappreciated actor in the world, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
he's great.
Just
He was
brilliant.
also on Sex and the City
That's right. Yeah.
on multiple occasions.
Well, we
he-
can look past that.
He played multiple characters, actually.
Really? And I didn't even get to play one.
Yes, you did.
I got
Yes,
cut.
you
I
did.
got cut, though. Come on.
Hey, someday they will release an extended cut.
I've been looking for it.
They will do it. You know, they do that with everything.
Yeah.
And I
you know.
insist on being invited to the viewing because do you remember how freaking excited I was when you were like, I was on Sex in the City once, and I was like, Jason, shut up. I have to hear this story. Like,
And then I broke the news.
because I did know that show well enough that I was like, no, you weren't. Like, and because you got cut, which was fair, but I would have remembered if you had been on it, is what I'm saying. I wasn't.
That would be my luck. I would say. I was on Sex in the City. No, you weren't. You're right.
You're right. I was lying. Did I ever bring in the? Should I bring in the script? Would you like to see the script?
Yes.
Oh, I see the excitement. All
I'm
right.
not, I'm not going to do that.
I'll
but
dig it
I'll
out.
say yes.
I'll dig it out.
Yes, please. I would freaking love that. Because I see, this is how much I love
You
the
have to
story.
autograph it. Even if you keep it for the rest of your life, but then you got to pass it on to your kids, right?
Yeah, that's true.
We have 2 kids that can fight over it.
No, pass it on.
well, it's big
Jader.
enough that you can each take a half. You know,
King Solomon. Just,
I'll take
just
the
chop the
top
kid.
part.
yeah.
No, see, I even rough. I'm pretty sure I remember your line where it's about marriage therapy, right? Where you say that's the one place you can be for an hour, and there's all this screaming, and you haven't said a word or
No,
something.
no, that
I'm
was
badly
No, that was
paraphrasing, but
Entourage.
but you're right. No, that you are so right.
see,
You've got a
that's
memory
how
like
much I
a
look.
steel trap.
Oh my god!
Morning,
Oh,
Brennan.
he hates that, by the way.
I do too. But it's rusted. And
Yeah, I know.
the hinges are broken.
I
I
mean,
get
I've
tetanus
killed.
from it.
I've trapped down so many hookers in my time. It's all bloody and rusted. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, the credits are rolling.
we talked.
What do we do now?
Father Brown, I guess, because
yeah.
that's what Amazon suggested. If you've never seen Father Brown, by the way, if you like detective shows,
So no, but let's stay on track with the movie. for just-
Cerruti, the fine clothing, they got a shout out. I've never heard of them, but apparently they did the clothes in this movie.
Yeah,
bet you
I was
they're
about to say
bankrupt.
they-
Probably so.
At this point, they don't even exist.
Mamma
but-
mia, we're out of the cocaine.
oh, we can't convince people. Oh, because that's a thing.
That's the job I want. Props buyer.
Oh, wait, so speaking of, have you done cocaine?
I'm not going to answer that on the
Have you
air.
done cocaine?
No.
Yeah, see, I've never done cocaine either. I am really a lame. I'm lame. I'm in New York. Lived in New York. Never did cocaine.
How did you leave? You were in the financial market.
I don't know.
seems like-
I ran with the wrong people. That's really what it came down
Were you
to.
in like the Our Gang financial business?
Oh, he was the Tom Hanks. He was the.
I played a lot of music on a big piano keyboard. I did that.
He gets big, and then he gets little, and then he gets
And then
big
he-
again, and his clothes don't fit.
but the suit's too big.
No, I
Build
always.
a barn and put the gal in the barn. Like
Well, I mean, okay, cocaine is
a hell of a drug.
it's a hell of a- Who said that? Lars Ulrich.
Oh, I thought you were asking.
She just said it.
Oh yeah,
actually.
no. Yeah, Lars Ulrich, the drummer from Metallica. It's a hell of a drug. It just goes up my nose. That's what he said.
But
Peter, it's a hell of a drug.
I think it just comes down with who you ran with.
Yeah.
Because here, this is the
Which
funniest
gang
thing.
you were in?
I went to Penn State, right? I was in ROTC. I ran with a certain group. In 4 years, I saw marijuana used twice at college. Only twice at a party. And I said,
calls it
saw it
marijuana.
I said I saw it. I didn't participate. I was subject to urinalysis at all times. But I only saw it used twice. So I said, oh yeah, drugs are never used at Penn State. And I had friends who said, say what? We were stoned and using coke at every single party I went to. I'm like, yikes, I guess I missed out on that.
Wasn't there a man named Patern?
Joe
Yeah, it was something
Paterno.
Like, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Paterno.
Something
But they
to
didn't
that
know-
effect.
He didn't do drugs.
No, never.
My dorm, particularly the second dorm I lived in, basically from Friday to Sunday, you had to have a flashlight to get down the halls because it was just a cloud of smoke.
Oh, really?
I remember
Cigarette smoke?
What?
Yes,
cigarette
obviously.
smoke. Yes, it was
Obviously.
it was
marijuana
it
cigarettes?
was harmless tobacco.
Wait a minute, we're beyond the.
No, I remember we got a new RA once, and we were all in the halls, drunk off our asses. And the new RA walks in, and we're like, "Oh shit, the new RA, we're in trouble."
Gross.
And he walks in his room, and he walks out with a bong. We're
Oh
like,
my god,
"Yeah, we're fine.
we're doing this.
We're okay."
Yeah, the secret ingredient is phone. So I do have to ask this question, gentlemen. Going back to a more serious part of the discussion, with Patrick Bateman, is it literally kind of like what I said with Daniel Tosh? Is it really that scary in y'all's minds where I should run away screaming? Because do most men
I wouldn't say
No.
scary.
But I wonder.
No.
No. I wonder. Sorry, I'm not phrasing myself correctly. So I wonder when you run into a stupid woman or a woman you can,
you just scrape her off the car, throw her in the
Let
ditch,
you
and get going, man.
answers that question real quick. Oh, Mary.
So what was the question again? I'm sorry.
The point was before Jason derailed me is the fact that when you run into anybody who aggravates you, I guess, whether man, woman, child, it doesn't matter. Do you just want to murder them, or is it just
No.
because I
You
aggravate
might-
y'all on purpose, and I'm wondering if I should even be able to do that anymore.
I will tell you what I do.
Oh God,
No. I and this is totally serious. If I'm in a conversation with somebody, particularly a woman
insipid.
who keeps talking, you both seen The Big Lebowski, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember that song in the beginning of The Big Lebowski?
Oh my God.
You know the tumbleweed song?
Oh yeah.
Na,
Yeah.
na, na, na,
I already know where we're going with it.
In my head, that song starts to play and slowly get louder, and I just go, I'm not making this up. This
No, I
actually
believe
happens.
you. I'm okay with that. Because I know I have my moments every now and then where I'm sure you guys are like,
Tuning out?
yeah.
No, never
What?
with you.
I was trying
No,
to
it's
phrase it
never happened with-
diplomatically. But
Did you say something?
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, no.
Is there a wait?
What?
There's a sequel to this movie?
Oh my God.
I didn't even know there was a damn book, so I really don't know.
Whoa!
Look at that.
whoa.
This movie is so fucked.
American Psycho 2. I guarantee
it's
guarantee-
a girl.
who is this?
Mila Kunis and William Shatner,
Wait a minute.
directed by Morgan Freeman.
That can't be right. I'm taking a picture.
Ah, my world is exploding right now.
My life is a lie.
You got to post that in the notes.
Oh, I'll put it in the show notes.
And
Morgan
look,
Freeman-
it's got 4 stars.
Morgan Freeman dabbled in directing.
But that says Morgan J. Freeman.
Yeah,
so that
Yeah,
can't be the same.
I don't think it's the same one. Click on him, Jason. Search for him. But anyway,
Mila Kunis.
What-
Wait,
did
what
we
year
s-
was American Psycho made? I don't remember.
wasn't it 87?
No,
that's when it's
Oh, it
set.
was
No,
placed
when
in
it was set.
87. Yeah. Okay. Let's find out.
I'm thinking it.
Holy crap, Mila Kunis.
Did you already pay for
Oh,
this?
no, it's the trailer.
I got it.
This looks like a terrible direct-to-video movie.
1991 novel, but
It must have been, I'm thinking it was like late 90s.
That was Shatner.
2000.
Oh, 2000? So this is 2002.
I mean, they couldn't call it American Psycho 2 if it wasn't...
What is she, like his daughter or something? Like I don't even, because he had so much sex with so many random women. Like who knows?
Well, it is sexier because it has Mila Kunis in it.
Well, did we technically call this, guys? Because we said like if there was a sequel to Smokey and the Bandit, but these days it would have to be a woman who was the bandit.
Oh, yeah.
And she'd have to have her own blocker car, and Frog would be a guy, and Carrie always would be a snowman. We came up with the most magical sequel ever, but
I have to look this up.
because and I will tell you both this, considering the whole Smokey and the Bandit thing. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she got really excited about my new car, and she was like, "Oh my God, is that a pacer car?" I was like, "Do you mean a blocker car?" And she was like, "I don't know, it looks cool." And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Well, the pace car in racing is the one that kind of drives around and all the cars stay behind it.
I know
Sets
that,
the
but she
pace.
said pacer, like an actual, she said, "Is that a pacer?" And I was like,
Are you familiar with an AMC pacer by any chance?
Of course.
"Yeah, that's what I'm saying."
Yeah.
Is that she said pacer, and I was like, "It's not a pacer. Are
Okay.
you thinking
All right.
blocker?" And she was like, "Maybe."
I have the answer.
What's the answer?
American Psycho 2 was adapted from a script titled The Girl Who Wouldn't Die and was originally
Yikes.
conceived of as a thriller with abso-fucking-lutely no association to American Psycho.
Got it. Okay. That makes
After
sense.
production began and somebody said, hey, we own the rights to that other movie, the film's script was altered with the incorporation of the Patrick Bateman subplot.
Nice. Okay.
So it is
So
actually
if it's confusing and
sequel.
stupid, then it's everybody's favorite movie.
But how do you have a sequel to a movie if none of the events in the first movie actually
are relevant
happened?
to it. Yeah. Because they didn't happen. That's the
so
point.
they don't have to happen again.
Okay, yeah.
You see how that works?
This is a great idea
like
for a
it.
cinematic universe.
Yeah.
A
We got-
whole cinematic universe
Hollywood?
where nothing happens.
It's like Seinfeld.
Yeah. So it's like
A show about nothing.
Nothing.
yes.
Yeah. All right. I think the end is near.
It is.
Let's.
That was well done. I think you won the episode with that
We
one.
need we need to do that's the Star Trek thing. Oh no, the Klingons are shooting at you. Damn, that looks good.
So I guess
Let's do Fight Club soon.
I
Yes.
suggested Fight Club like 40 times already.
No to American Hustle. No to Eyes Wide Shut. That's a movie that exists only so you can make jokes about it.
The Machinist. Oh, and that's how crazy
Nope,
Christian
nope.
Bale really is. No. I just have an
Oh no, I was just
anecdote
skipping
about
past Requiem for a Dream
that. Oh, Requiem
go
for a
there.
Tuesday.
or Black Swan.
Shut the front door and no. Hard no on that one. No. So, because I know exactly why you want me to watch that movie.
I don't know
I'm
what
not
you're
gonna.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're not. Yeah, we're not.
Because
gonna
I am a
talk about
fan of dance. And also.
Menditos. Anyway, but seriously, Christian Bale is, I think, one of the last really method actors. And
He
that's
is genuinely
why,
a great actor.
No,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
is.
he genuinely
He's
is.
so talented. But my dear boy, why don't you simply try acting? Because with 3:10 to Yuma, I know that he went out into the desert and camped there, and like lived off the land for. It was only like 3 days.
I'm
but
sorry
still.
if you can't hear my eyes rolling at home.
No, but that's just his method. So,
Yeah.
but with the Machinist, he actually lost so much weight that he was like showing off to another actor that his ass had atrophied. And he was like, "Check this out, man!" And he
worth
was like,
bragging about.
He was like, "Christian," and I'm pretty sure he was like, "Christian, why don't you simply try
The
it?"
fuck are you doing?
Take it from someone who's had an atrophied ass his entire life. It's nothing to brag about. I have to carry 2 wallets, so it looks like I got something back there. You know what I'm saying? and I stuff them with credit cards.
Did either of you see Ford versus Ferrari?
Yes.
I have not seen it. Is it good? Because it looks like it's
I've never
great.
seen it.
I did enjoy it.
Okay.
No, it was my kind of movie.
sorry.
Okay.
It's about cars.
Yeah,
it's about
that's-
racing, and
yeah.
it's got a really cool ending.
Okay, cool.
Let's fall down the rabbit hole. Am I
Okay.
seeing a documentary about Anna Nicole?
No, you're
Smith?
not.
No,
You're
you're
seeing a movie. A Agnes Bruckner
Yeah.
plays
Okay.
Anna Nicole Smith. But if you want to watch a movie, based on somebody who was an old sex symbol,
Because if
the
you,
notorious Betty Page. If you've never seen it, it's actually a very good movie.
I've not seen it,
Yeah.
but yeah. But if you recall, going back to Joe Rogan, because his famous words about Anna Nicole Smith, do you remember what he called her?
No.
A Kentucky Fried Hooker.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, that's about right.
So,
Yeah.
so I guess the point, gentlemen, is we've got to figure out first of all why the hell you picked this movie, and then we have to go out to Seinfeld.
Salmonella.
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. I was going through a dry patch when it came to movie selection. So it was. I
thought that was
we're
going in
still
a very
we're still in
different
the
direction.
holiday season, right?
December
Wink,
8th,
wink.
yes. We're
Okay.
all looking forward to Christmas.
And I can't wait. 3 more weeks till
I
Christmas.
can't wait to see your John Hammond Kane from the future. I can't wait.
Touch it, hold it, pull it. No, there's little games. Pull it, yank it, twist it.
You're on your own on this one.
Okay.
I cannot.
I'm not bashing you, in the head with my
I'm your
coffee mug.
wingman.
So
but
I Googled.
Wingman.
Hello, hush,
I Googled-
wingman.
I just used the Google to find weird Christmas movies, and this one happened to come up, and I said, "Hey, this would be kind of cool to talk about." And I think we had fun with it. And when I was watching it with my wife, I was like, "Oh, I don't remember all the sex."
yeah. Isn't it funny?
Oh, don't you?
I don't.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well,
Look what
it's-
happened.
Whoa. I just noticed something.
Uh-oh.
Justin Theroux was in Rick and Morty.
Of
What?
course he was.
Who the hell was he in Rick and Morty?
Wait, where are you seeing that?
Look, if you go down on the Amazon Fire Stick,
Purple.
what?
these are Justin Theroux.
the actual hell.
Oh God, he was in Bumblebee.
He was in Lady and the Tramp.
Well, nobody saw that. So.
I know. I didn't even see it. I love the original,
He
but
plays Timothy Bryce.
Oh wow,
I don't know who he was in
He
Rick and-
has been in some shitty movies.
I've got to see. I've got to see who Justin Theroux was in Rick and Morty. That's gonna bother me because I'll pick up on that.
Was he in? He was not in John Adams, was he?
There's the movie that I think is his best movie,
Mulholland.
Mulholland Drive. Fucking fantastic movie. It has a musical sequence in that I think is the best musical sequence in any movie ever. It literally is a person singing and it'll bring tears to your eyes. It's
Okay.
just awesome. And Mulholland Drive was actually supposed to be the pilot for a TV show that never got picked up. So they recut it and they
Made
did
it
it as a movie. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out. So, all right. So, did you really cover why you picked the movie?
That was
Yeah.
it. It was that simple.
Okay. Then you're out to Seinfeld.
I'm going to give it a 6. I liked it a little bit more. Well, because once again, when I talk about it with you guys, it makes it that much more special. Sorry. Just the way
Such
it
a
is.
sentimental fool.
I think a 6 for me also because I liked it as much now, but just in the context of it got better.
And there were a lot of fairly revealing scenes,
yes,
which
yes.
I enjoy even more.
For a man of a certain age,
Yes.
that reminds me of staying up late at night with a Victoria's Secret catalog.
It reminds me of a bygone era
Yeah.
of life.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You'd have to get to the mailbox, though, because you had to get that magazine out.
I've literally never
you
read
had- but you-
Victoria's Secret. Not once.
I don't
in
even
my
know if
life.
they have a catalog anymore.
I was about to
they
say.
probably,
All virtual.
yeah, it's
Why
all,
waste money?
online. And also, they don't look as good. They're all, way too skinny now.
Yeah.
In my day, Victoria's Secret models,
Curvaceous.
10 out of 10,
All right.
I'll go with a 6.
Is that
Darth,
I like it less. I'm not gonna lie.
make it a 4.
We
Come
made it
on,
worse
do
for
do
you.
it. Yes, we did.
Not only did you two dummies make it worse.
Oh, we're dummies now. I like to be a dummy. That's the nicest thing I've been called all day, actually.
You're a nice guy.
There.
Thank you. Thank you.
Christian likes you,
Okay.
but once again, that might be more of an insult than what I just said. If
That's
Christian
true.
Bale likes you.
If he's holding an axe and says, "You're a nice guy," and then swings it, then yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, hindsighters, I'm surrounded by men, and one of them has a cane, one of them has an axe, and send help.
But I wouldn't use this to hurt you because it would hurt this. So
Well, that's good to know.
I mean, if I'm gonna kill somebody,
Can you see the blood on my...
yeah, look.
I have told everyone.
That's
and
actually blood. It's real blood.
who'd you murder today?
Don't answer that.
no.
Come on.
As your attorney.
That's my attorney. Yes.
Well, hindsighters, for those of you who don't
It's
know,
like step one on how to be a lawyer.
I plead the fifth.
it's like Eggs 101 Woodhouse. But I did tell Adam that if he brought that axe here, that my attorney would be present, and that the attorney
Is on mescaline.
Yes. He's actually seeing pink elephants
Yeah.
right now. He won't
on
remember.
parade, here they come. But I did tell Adam that if he brought the axe, that my attorney has permission to tell his mommy on him.
Don't, please. We've seen what happens when my mommy calls. I pick up no matter what.
I'm in cahoots with your mom and your sister. You are hosed. So
Wait,
anyway,
didn't Archer, even in the middle of a certain act, always pick up when his mom called?
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
but he
Don't
would.
pick up. Don't pick up. I must. Hello, mother.
Is this
I
a
like to
candy bar wrapper?
What? I can do
You,
both.
you shit ass.
Sometimes I like to treat myself. What?
Oh, Chloe Sevigny was an American Horror Story.
Good for her.
good to know.
So yes, I will. I'm gonna give it a solid 3 because
Oh.
I don't.
Wow.
I don't
That's
like-
bold.
I don't like Patrick Bateman at all. He is.
Oh man.
You're unfucking believable.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Thank you, Pat.
you know?
I call him Pat.
I mean, we have this guest fly in from
At me, Pat.
you know,
That's all I have to say about that.
Is that a knife on her? I just noticed
No!
that. She can defend herself against a cane with that thing. That's for sure.
Maybe even against an axe.
Yes.
I already had that handled with your mom. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give it a
Oh,
solid 3.
good for you.
Solid 3 because I when I first watched this movie back in 2000.
That's convenient.
What?
No, it is because 6 and 6 and 3 is 15, right?
Oh, so you can finally do
I
the
can
math.
actually do the math. Swing. It's 4.
Swing.
That's why he's a
No.
lawyer and not an engineer.
Well, that was one of our common jokes in law school is if we could do math, we'd be engineers.
Yes.
That's why you're my attorney because I can afford you.
Hey, I get paid on mescaline.
Exactly. And
I'm not even
mescaline-
100% sure what it is.
Anyway, the movie depreciated for me specifically because not just because of the violence, but how just intimately horrible the violence was. Like violence in and of itself is an intimate act. If you really
So would you
think
say
about
this
it.
movie was disturbing? Like, did
Mildly.
it stick with you?
I mean, it's not like getting choked out by a fireman. It's not fun.
No, but I mean, when the movie was over, did parts of it like bug you?
Oh, absolutely, it did. Because
You're gonna love the Holy Mountain.
God help me, hindsighters. God help me.
Good.
On that bombshell of a damn note, I believe we are done.
Yes.
So, I'm probably about to be murdered in front of my attorney, which is how, cheap my attorney is.
I'm gonna go climb in a bathtub with my suit coat and shorts on.
Oh, God.
For those of you who don't get that reference, go back to episode 1
Mm-hmm.
of this season where we did that movie, the name of which
Fear
is
and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'm going to go miss the fight with Muhammad Ali because I'll be too drunk at the
Yes,
bar to cover the story. So anyway, with all my journalistic integrity intact, we have to thank you for joining us, Hindsighters,
Thank
for
you.
this
Yes.
nightmare of a movie, which apparently is only going to make me devolve into Patrick Bateman level insanity because it's only going to get worse. We have a new challenge coming up where the boys and I are deliberately going to try to make each other cry.
Yes.
And it's going down.
You know the whole thing about when you're an abused child, you grow up and you become an abuser? that's basically what we're going for now. Only cinematically.
Oh my God, Jason. Anyway,
He's an artist. Yes.
So, Hindsighters, we appreciate you joining us for American
Your
Psycho.
drive time.
Your drive time, your listening time, your American Psycho time, your kitty paws time, any kind of time. We don't care. This has been Hindsight, and good night.